Welcome to Glammed and Unfiltered, the show where real stories meet real style. I'm Peachez Shug Green, trucking logistics boss by day, social media mavin by night. And I'll be your captain through all the hustle, heart, and unapologetic truth.
And I'm Rosie. Rosie Peachez Hampton, your musical genius with a soul as sweet as my name. From opera halls to street corners, I'm here to soundtrack every triumph and tear. Hey y'all, I'm Jackie Woodard, the culture curator who's never afraid to go there. Expect raw takes, savage truths, and that unapologetic
Step away from the G-Malls of Atlanta. Was there a specific red flag or incident that made you say, I'm out of here? You know, what happened with that? Like, how did that start off, you know, and then end?
Well, first off, I never wanted to be a part of G-Malls of Atlanta, or ATL. The creator begged me, insisted on me being in this show. Now, I'm going to back all the way up from when she was creating the show, because she made it seem like, you know, I just had reconnected with them. I would go over there because I needed a weed buddy, because I'm a stoner. And if you know, you know, and it's nothing like having a weed bestie, not even just for them two that you can smoke with and chit chat with. So that's what we're talking about, that she had been blacklisted from the entertainment scenes of Atlanta. But she always had a problem with the artists, when they go to the next level, they always branch off and leave her. So I felt that was some kind of messed up. That was messed up. Until this incident that happened. Now I understand. I've been given wisdom and knowledge. Started filming for G-Malls was the first time that I had said, okay, this is something I can do, because I told her this is not nothing that I want to do, because I know that scene in Atlanta can get grimy. It can get really grimy, and these people are not of the best character when they enter the entertainment industry. So I never had no desire to be a part of it. But anyway, when we started filming, she said, well, come to the brunch and talk to the ladies. I said, okay. To the brunch, the vibe was good. I liked it, you know. And so I said, this is something that I can do. So as I'm telling people about the show, because I believe in content, I am a social media content creator. I'm deep in. I wanted to, you know, in this day and age, 2025, you have to have some form of social media handles or a website. You have to have reference points to give to folks about what it is that you want them to be a part of. So moving forward, I started creating the content. So she had all these ladies come to me, and I created excellent content. I even did Facebook Reels, Instagram Reels, TikTok Reels. I did it all. I even created a website. So the bios put the ladies up on pedestals, some pedestals that some of them did not deserve. But I did it to, you know, to give them back back. Because some of these women were beat down, you know, they on this C-list celebrity thing in Atlanta. It's an Atlanta thing, you gotta understand. These folks want to be famous so bad. But I was doing their posts, their bios. Her name started feeling some type of way. Her head started getting big, because at first, due to her appearance, because she doesn't have like the best appearance. She don't have no teeth in her mouth. She wear funny wigs. It's just really, really tragic. And for the life of me, I'll be embarrassed for her. I will be embarrassed for her because of the fact that no way that you're going and being around all these important celebrities in Atlanta that you're going out looking like that. I never desired to be on that scene with her. When I created her bio, her webpage for her and these ladies, some of them started feeling like the big head. She took it in her head because she said that she was not going to be a part of the production. She was going to be behind the scenes. That's where her magic works, is what she was telling all the ladies. Because I know I'm not the only person that had apprehensions about her being our face. So I couldn't work with G-Miles because it was unorganized the way that it was going. So I started to implement some form of organization. Because, you can't work, I can't work in chaos. I just can't. I have to have some kind of structure. Because life, especially if life is life, and you can't have chaos around you when you're trying to figure things out. So I was doing all the social media content. Volunteer was like a hobby for me. I was learning some new things. I was excited to assist with G-Miles of ATL because the concept of G-Miles is not a bad thing. She just does not know how to work well with a team. And the more and more I work with her, the more and more.
So that's where the red flags.
Yeah, that's where the red flags came in, because the simple fact of it is I didn't know nothing about no money. So me and her I had an issue with one of these brides that she named some hag from North Carolina that thought she was something that she's not, So she tried to have a diva attitude with me, and I had to kindly check her, because when I was doing the content creation, this helper felt like I was the help. So she wanted to try to use me as a help, and me, once again, because I tell folks all the time, I am my own best advocate. So to the creator, and I use that term loosely, and I let her know this is not that. Can you please address the situation, because I don't feel comfortable working with this bride because she got me messed up. So having people on all this different, she'll have a phone conversation going on, got people going on Messenger. She just has too much going on. So me and her the other thing, I call it thing 1 and thing 2. We were all on the phone, and the thing, and then that C-list celebrity from North Carolina, she had called thing 1. And so thing 1 had her on the phone, and I'm listening to her how she is throwing me under a bus with this C-list celebrity in North Carolina, because for the simple fact, I just refused to post her content, because like I said, I created all of the social media handles, the web page, and all that. So I'm listening to her on the phone with thing 1, how she just throwing me under the bus, technically. So I'm like, hold on. So I ended the call, and she was like, that's not professional, that fake shit and unfiltered talk. So she with the fake shit, so I instantly pick up my phone and I start texting her. So I'm like, okay, I don't appreciate what you did. Blase scoop and all this. I didn't know you had all this going on. So don't come back to the conversation with me, because I feel some type of way, because I'm my own best advocate. You're not going to throw me under the bus. And so I think she felt some type of way because I checked her ass. And that was a check. It wasn't a checkmate. That goes on a little bit later. But I checked her right where she had me fucked up at. And that's the real. So she calls me, and I think she had a few ladies from that show. We'll get into that. On the line, trying to feel like she's important. And I told her, and I believe you was one of the ladies that was on the line, I told her right clear and there where I felt, and don't call me with all this. So one of the ladies had let it slip that she was trying to attempt to charge dues or membership fees. So I guess I wasn't supposed to know that. So it seemed like soon as I found out she was charging these ladies in Indiana, which I don't care what she did. If you're dumb enough to pay her to be a part of anything that you're not making no money on, then that's on you. I didn't have a problem with her charging these weirdos. You know what I'm saying? But it seemed like as soon as I heard about her charging, she started acting funny. You know, and then it spun into a competition thing, and I don't understand where she thought that we were ever in competition. Because where you can't compete, where you can't compare. Me and her are nothing alike. And I can spend this whole conversation going on, but I'm going to move forward. So, I had realized the snake shit that she was doing, so I sent her over a contract. And the contract was on contingency that if this show took up off the ground, you're going to pay me for all the work that I put in. I did a website. Websites go for cheap, starting at $500. I'm doing all your content. I'm doing all these hats, washed up old hats, model. They call themselves models, but you know what that is. I'm doing all their content, doing things to make them relevant. And it's hard to make something that was never relevant or irrelevant. So I sent her over a contract. Now the state law in Georgia, because I did research on it, the state law in Georgia requires 48 hours. After 48 hours, then you can decide to, withdraw. And by saying that she did not sign the contract, I had all content rights, creative content rights, because I made all the content. So when I left, I took my content with me. Yes, I took down the website. Yes, I took down the page. I did a lot of things for that group, and I took back what was mine, because you don't have a problem making anybody else sign a contract. But when somebody wants to hold you to your contract or to a contract, you don't want to sign it. And that's not okay. And so then it had got back to me from several ladies that she had been running her mouth about me because she felt some type of way. Now, she thought she had the upper hand by holding that contract dangling. First of all, I didn't need G-Malls of ATL to feel some type of way, because I know who I am as a person. And two, I never wanted to be a part of it anyway, because it was not organized. And the only way I stayed as long as I did, which was I think a month, I stayed because I tried to implement some form of keeping it organized. So when I realized that it was on Mother's Day of this year, I woke up, I said, I just don't want to be a part of that no more. And that was my prerogative, because I'm not obligated to give you my intelligent work and then hold on. She just wasn't about business. And then I just felt like that was not going to be the purpose that she intended it to be, or she tried to scam people into believing that it's going to be.
Okay. Yeah, so that was going to be my next question. You had referred to her as the creator and scam artist. That's a heavy label. What actions or patterns convinced you that she wasn't playing fair?
By not signing the contract. You claim where she had me fucked up at. And that's her going Facebook Live after we.
There's been whispers about contract drama. Can you break down what went down behind the scenes? What clauses or promises felt like bait and switched to you?
Okay, so, like I said, she has no problem with putting anybody else on a contract. Mm-hmm. And she's not good at doing contracts because she's so trying to have people contract down that she didn't even look it over with a lawyer. And Rocket Lawyer is not a lawyer. They tell you this does not replace get legal advice, actually. It does not replace legal advice. So
you're saying the contracts or work that she was trying to, what type of contract or
did our film. The non-disclosure just consisted of that we would not discuss Gmalls of ATL until after we did our first filming, and not release any, important show stuff. Okay. Right here. And so I didn't have a problem doing that because that's what you are supposed to do. You're always supposed to lock it down. But the problem that I had were because Kevin wouldn't have given me no contract because I was just drawing up like templates of the contracts. She was actually sending those contracts that I was sending her over as advice on she should lock it down because the concept is good. So when she didn't sign the contract, I guess she thought I was going to have my head up her ass begging her to sign this contract. I gave her 7 days. The state of Georgia only requires 2 days, which is 48 hours, before I can back out of any binding agreement. And I drew it up to her, and I didn't even email it to the helper. I drove to her house and handed her the contract. I printed it out, and I took it to her, handed it to her.
And what was her response when you did that?
Her response was, "Oh, this is a really good contract because, doing a family thing to neutralize the situation. This is a really good contract because I'm going to have Jennifer," which is this so-called lawyer she got, which is Rocket Lawyer. Jennifer must be the AI bot that asks, "Hey, my name is Jennifer. Can I help you?" To be on the side of the computer screen. That's who Jennifer was. She said, "I'm going to send this over to Jennifer." She screenshotted it. She taking pictures with her tablet thing. "And then I'm going to get back with you." So, that was on a Sunday. So I gave her a week. That was on a Sunday, the Sunday before Mother's Day. So I texted her along the week about Tuesday because I had stopped talking to her. She went from calling me every 2 or 3 hours during the day to not calling me at all. So I had stopped talking to her, which, she just was, had bad energy and then about this show. So on Mother's Day, I woke up. I texted her. I said, "Did you have a chance to discuss it with your lawyer?" No, on Saturday. I said, "Did you have a chance to discuss it with your lawyer? And did you get a chance to sign a contract?" I said, "Because you have these ladies from Gmalls of Envy reaching out to me to do content for them, and I'm not going to do any more content until you sign the contract. Or are we going to move toward, they paying me?" Because at the end of the day, I was going to get paid on the back end or I can get paid on the front end. But at the end of the day, I was going to get paid. So she didn't sign, no response. She left it on red, is what they say. Leave it on red, whatever. So I woke up on Mother's Day in a good mood. I had meditated the night before because Mother's Day is hard for me because my mother died. So I was already in a good mood to take on the day. And one of the things that came to my mind, and that was on my first mind, said, "Today is the day." I reached out to you, and there was another lady I reached out to, and both of y'all said, "Just give it to about 5 or 6, because she might not have got around to it." And 5 o'clock came, I texted her, I said, "So what's up?" No response. So at 6 o'clock, I said, "You know what?" I went and typed up on my computer. I typed up my intent to be removed from the show. Any of my likings, which I made the show. That show would have been boring, a bunch of old, washed up, big back, gorilla, silverback looking women. And then they got throwing a snow bunny. They really think she's still a snow bunny. And that's in Indiana. Let me tell you about this one. The snow bunny. This bitch. She's ambitious, but she don't know how to be. Don't know how to achieve anything because she spent the latter parts of her life, the earlier parts of her life with a nigga's dick in her mouth. So, somewhere in her mind, this snow bunny, and that's as nice about as I can be, feel like she has the audacity to even come to me. And then she lied on my name and said that I had cussed her out. I didn't cuss her out then because she wasn't a factor. Because I know she was gonna run behind thing one because thing one and thing two was running G Miles and Andy. So I had a lot of ladies reach out from G Miles of Andy wanting to quote unquote terminate the contract because they so-called names can't be associated with that kind of mess, their brand and all this. And when I go on social media, because this information don't come to me, I'm on all kinds of platforms and people don't know what comes across my news feed.
Oh, okay.
So when it comes across my news feed, the first thing I see, the main one hollering, I want you to draft me up a contract and I'm going to hand it to her personally because that's what real bitches do and all this shit. That's the main one. So I thought I took it because she thought it was going to be for free. We can kick here and do all that all day long, but bitch, I don't know you. So you're not going to get nothing free from me, right? So I told her $15 and that was being generous. And I never heard from her again. So, people, they talk a lot of shit and they don't get nothing done. And see, when I left, I wasn't encouraging nobody else to leave. I decided to leave because that just was not something I wanted to be a part of.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that. You was just doing this because it's something you wanted to do. And there were rumors going around stating that you were harassing people, but you just said they were calling you. People were reaching out to you.
They were reaching out to me for the simple fact. Hold on, what the fuck came across the screen? They were reaching out to me because they wanted the content, because I'm a really good content creator. And I told them that any content that I had, the content said that she didn't sign the contract, that I keep all of my creative rights because they're mine. This is like if I go to a basketball court with a basketball and I lose or I just don't feel like watching y'all play with my ball, I can take my fucking ball home, right?
Right.
It's my ball.
Correct.
That's for anything. Anything that's yours is yours.
So did you try to confront or speak to the creator of G-Miles about that?
I sure did. I reached out when it was brought to my attention. I woke up out of my beauty rest. I hadn't even put a Newport in my mouth or a sip of coffee to my lips. And I woke up to some news that my name was being slandered. And see, with me, I will help you slander my name. Because the reason why I say that, if you want to slander my name, just slander it with facts. Okay. Not your truths, because everybody's entitled to their own truths. My thing is, your truths towards me may not be facts. You may be operating under animosity, or with this thing one's case, envy. She envies me. Envy. That's what it is. So if you operating in that mindset under that, then your truths are not facts. So I like to get it from the horse's mouth. So I do what a lot of people claim they do, but they don't do. But I am one of those. I will reach out to the horse's mouth, and I want to hear it from the tongue, because if they talk too much shit, I can pull that motherfucker up out their mouth. And what I reached out to her to see what it is. She's not a woman, or she couldn't come to me because she out here tossing all these subliminal messages. So then she takes it to Facebook, which is my playground. I don't have all these Facebook pages. That's why I know how to work Facebook. I think that's probably why I'm so good at with content creation, because of Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg. kept me in Facebook jail. So, because of, it was my playground. So, you go to my playground, just because the bully is not outside playing don't mean that ain't his playground. He just at home sleeping. And I'm not saying that I'm a bully, but you get what I'm saying. Okay. Just because the beast is dormant don't mean it's dead. For real. So, she went to Facebook with these subliminal messages about a misdemeanor, a class, I don't even know, I know y'all go by numbers now, but a class C misdemeanor warrant out of Indiana. Class C. And I told her about it because she had asked me why would I go back to Indiana. I said Indiana gave me an incentive not to come back. And that's why it's not a secret, because it's not a threat to me. So you get on Facebook talking about you a snitch, you the police. Yeah, of course you the police, bitch. You snitched on your husband. You know what I'm saying? You snitched on your son. So of course you the police. So that's something that you like to do, but you didn't put no names to it. So when I seen that, I put names to it. I said, since we're going to talk about the law, let's talk about how you mentally and physically abused that little girl that you had in your custody, that you didn't get her for the right reasons. You got her because her mother and father were dope fiends. So your grandma had custody, and when your grandma passed, your grandma had adopted this little girl, and then she passed. And so you figured out a way to get an SSI check, survivor benefits, and veterans benefits for this little girl. And you treated her like Cinderella. So if you got all this mess that you got going on, you cannot toss a rock when you live in a glass house, because I'm not tossing no rocks to hide my hand. I'm going to throw a cinder block right through your motherfucking forehead. You're going to see where it's coming from. And the way my mouth hit like a Draco, I will make a bitch come see about me. I will make you come and see about me with facts. Yours or your truths. Because I can't dictate how somebody feels about me. You understand what I'm saying? I can't dictate your perception of me, because I don't give a fuck. What I do give a fuck about is me. And one of the big old thing people be saying, a misconception, that a lot of these people out here think, oh, you don't know me like that. You are absolutely correct. I do not know you. I know me. That's the big difference. And so she went on Facebook Live trying to slander my name, and she know, because see, my daughter got good shit going on. Your daughters are cum suckers, pussy sellers. The whole, I can go on, I ain't even going to tank this on there, because everybody know how I feel about the Peaches of ATL. So you want to go on and slander my child's name when you went to the hospital 7 times and they were all wasted trips. You do not have one child. The only child that she did have that's doing good is the Cinderella that got away from her. And that's the only reason why she doing good, because she went back to society, to some people that really don't think like them weird people do. So that's why I'm not going to spend time going over that, but I do want to clear the air on that.
Okay. And so some might call it tough talk, but you say any lady still with G-Mods of ATL, birds of a feather. What do you mean by that? And is there hope for them to wake up and fly solo?
I said exactly what I said. No self-respecting brand is going to be associated with the things that girl has been accused of doing. Okay. And they're not accusations, they're facts. You know what I'm saying? It's facts that her and her sister, mother, a whole generation of prostitutes. And that's as nicely as I can say about it. And then her sister thing too is an actual streetwalker prostitute. So these are the women that y'all want to go to Netflix and speak on y'all behalf. She has no teeth in her mouth. She wears bad wigs. So these are the women that you're going to associate. I had a one of them, but she don't matter. She looked like a silverback gorilla. That's the kind of bitches that don't like me, them gorilla looking bitches. But Silverbacks. Well, her name is Osanji. I can say her name because she called herself a comedian. And I tore her ass up in my inbox. I said, you disappoint me. Her shit. And she probably used all my material because she's not good at being a comedian. For real. She's not good. And she said she won so many titles. I'm disappointed in Atlanta if they gave her a title because she's not funny. They probably be laughing at her and not with her because of the way she looks. That could be it because the audacity was high with that one. Then she had another 7. She had 3 niggas. Where? Off of I-20 by what, a homeless camp? That's why I told us ain't no nigga checking on you. The fuck? ain't no motherfucking nigga checking on you. But she had those type of women. And this bride, Osanji, the wildebeest, this bitch gonna say, well, I came from a family of pussy sellers. I said, oh, that's why you mad. And she was mad. Ooh, she was mad. She got so mad she spelled out the whole word motherfucker. That's mad. You know you mad when you take the time out to spell out motherfucker. I think it was like 16 goddamn letters. Bitch.
Wow. You guys went back and forth also.
I mean, I only go back because she was on.
Why did she reach out to you like that?
No, because they were jumping on her page. We stand with you. I guess they felt like when I went live that I had bullied Thing One.
So they thought you started it.
But didn't know, but they was kikiing when she was going live. I guess I wasn't supposed to respond because they rabbit ass mind, in they rabbit ass mind, they still think that G Miles of ATL is gonna take off. How's it gonna take off? I mean, it probably has potential of taking off if it gets better leadership, but under that chaotic mess, no.
Okay, so you feel like the leadership needs structure, more, professionalism, things like that.
Yeah. Because nothing is blessed when it's mess. Just think about it.
Mm-hmm.
If your house is messy, 9 times out of 10 you having a bad week.
Yeah.
You have to be organized. Things have to be organized. And see, I'm a girl's girl. I love women. That's why I created this platform of Glam and Unfiltered, and if you give me a chance, I go into what Glam and Unfiltered is. I'm a girl's girl. I want to see everybody succeed. My motto is, if everybody eating, there's no time for hating. If you're eating a sirloin steak, you should be mad if I'm eating a T-bone steak. You understand what I'm saying? They're both high quality steaks. We're all eating, but somewhere in African Americans' head, especially African American women, it becomes competitive because everybody they want you to eat, but you can't eat better than them. You're not allowed to eat better than some people. You're not allowed to survive the things that you have survived, and that's crazy talk because it's the crab in a bucket syndrome.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's people don't want to see the next person succeed, or if they do, they want to dictate how the next person can go to the next level. And to you Christians and you laymen, what y'all God has for y'all is for y'all. Just like for me, I'm spiritual. What the universe has for me is for me. You can't wish it away enough. You can't curse and put enough curses on. You cannot dictate how a person receives a blessing, especially if you don't know what they went through to get to it. You understand what I'm saying? And that's the bullshit that has to stop. And all that.
I agree.
Yeah, that's what it has to stop.
Mm-hmm. So, moving forward. So, let's rewind. Before G-Mouse, you were building your own empire. How did the idea for Glammed and Unfiltered hit you? Was it a moment of clarity or a slow burn of inspiration? Because I heard you mention you started your own, you love women and you started your own thing.
Yeah, like I said, I'm a girl's girl. I want to say I love women, but I'm a girl's girl. I want to see all women succeed. I'm more on minority women succeeding, because especially African American women, black women, because we have been put through so much. However, all skin folk is not your kin folk. That's where I'm at with my level of spirituality and consciousness. I know for a fact, I can't take everybody with me. I can't do that. So, I'm not going to give up on finding a network. Even with Glammed and Unfiltered, it's some little kinks that need to be worked out. But I started Glammed and Unfiltered because I had the platform of G Miles ATL. I created that Facebook page. So I was no longer associated with G Miles ATL, so I made it Glammed and Unfiltered. And I was just going to do just post content on it because, like I said, I don't have the desire to be in front of the camera because in my world, I'm my own celebrity. I already think I'm a celebrity, so I don't got to go out here and prove that I'm a celebrity. You feel what I'm saying? When you know your worth, you don't have to prove it because you're going to make a lasting impression anywhere you go if it's done out of love or done out of respect. So when all this mess was going on with thing one, and then thing two, she was doing some little subliminal message, but she's not a problem. And she's not a threat because she can be touched. I know where she be at. But anyway, I just decided, the ladies that reached out to me and was like they can't be associated with drama or their brand, and they wanted to get away from that. Some people don't want to be around toxicity, and that's what came out thing one is toxicity. So that's why I feel like birds of a feather flock together.
Oh, so that's where it came from. Okay, I get it. All right, so another question I had was, basically, in what ways did your experiences on GMOs inform or clash with the vision you had for Glammed and Unfiltered? Did you see the difference from day one?
Oh, yes. Day one, we had organization. We're organized. We have meetings, and we are thoughtful of other people's creative ideals because everybody can't, one person can't dictate. You got to have a team and be one with your team. So, yes, we're very much organized. We have a website. We have social media handles. Before Glammed and Unfiltered got off the ground, I made sure we had all those things. So when we're out here promoting this brand and our product, we have to have a reference point. And that's why a lot of black businesses and ideals never take off the ground because don't nobody want to yield. Or they want to come to the forefront when all the credit is given out. And they're not putting in any work. I went above and beyond to promote that shit show of a show. And that's what it is. And for you to insult my character by sending me a cease and desist order, that's what they do in Atlanta. That's that wannabe celebrity shit. If you go through all the scenes, that's what these wannabe C-list, D-list celebrities do to make themselves feel important. You can't tell nobody to stop talking about you if they speaking facts. Ain't nobody defaming your character. The facts is not defaming your character. It's not my fault that people didn't know that you are unscrupulous, toothless head with bad wigs. Did nobody know that? It's not my fault that it came to the front. Now, that could be interpreted as defamation of character, but it has to be proven in a court of law. And going to Rocket Lawyer, printing out somebody's document, and then sending it to them, and then not being woman enough to answer the phone to address it, but you take your messy, toothless, hag ass to Facebook with it, and you thought I was going to let that ride? So we came in, Glammed and Unfiltered came in structured. We have a website, we have business phones, we have a business office, We do things appropriate and considerate of other people's time. We have a chapter in Atlanta and then also in Indianapolis, but it's not exclusive to Georgia or Indiana. Anybody from all over can be a part of it. We're not doing a reality show in the way that Thing 1 and Thing 2 was trying to do, because that is her idea. You know, we're going to do interviews. The reality that you're going to get from us is raw interviews. You're not going to be following us around, looking and hoping drama come across your screen. That's not what this platform is for. This platform is for uplifting. So, even though I went into a negative turn talking about that, I just had to clear out the air on what happened, because
a lot of people need to know. So it's probably been a big question mark to some that came after or that was fairly new to the Gmail. So I'm glad you got to cover your story and your truth.
No, I just wanted to address the elephant in the room, and it's important because a lot of people really like and vibe with what I have going on with Glammed Unfiltered, but they're being unfair, or they just being, to me, petty, because they don't want to deal with K-Vine. They don't know how to let it go because of the whole thing they got going on with that cult of a model thing. I don't know. I really don't care, because this platform is going to take off because it started with good intentions. And when you start things with good intentions, that's what it normally happens. Good things happen. And like I said, what's the universe blessed, can't nobody take away.
No way. That's true. Okay, so you built Glammed Unfiltered into a brand that's raw, real, and unapologetic. What fuel, emotionally or creativity, drives you to keep it so authentic?
Just being myself, being real to who I am as a person. Life is not sugar-coated. In this world where everybody gets a participation trophy, everybody is politically correct, everybody don't want their feelings hurt, that's not how life is. And when you raise your children like that, you're setting them up for failure. You're setting life up for failure if you think that life is to be sugar-coated. If life was to be sugar-coated, we would have been born with a 10-pound bag of crystallized sugar, refillable whenever that bag run out. That's not how life is. And if you set your mindset to think that that people are not entitled to express their truths to you, then you're setting yourself up for a very, very one-dimensional lifestyle. Because everybody's not going to believe in the same God you believe in. That some of them, like myself, are spiritual. Everybody's not going to like the same thing that you like. Everybody's not going to be who you are. So you have to be your best version of who you can be. And I tell people all the time, I'm a good person. Not a nice person. A good person will treat you with the respect that they demand when they walk in the room. However, they're not gonna let you fuck over them. They're gonna be good to you. Hell, they might be even good when they're whooping your ass. Because a good person will whoop your ass and tell you why they whooped your ass. A nice person, they do finish last, because people take people's nice and kindness for being a fool. But being good, good people still exist. I'm one of them. I'm one of them. I'm actually, my help does not come with strings attached. If I do it, I'm doing it genuinely. But some people in this day and age, when they want to take a camcorder and put it in your face and watch you, everybody wants clout, is what the little kids call it nowadays, clout. I'm not one of those. I can work behind the scenes or in front of the scenes as long as I'm doing something.
Okay. So you said drama can be a magnet for eyeballs, but you said you want to uplift women's voices. How do you balance giving people that viral moment while still keeping it empowering?
Just be who I am. I can't be nobody but who I am. And I'm me all by myself. And so I can't give anyone, just be yourself. Because drama's going to happen. Like some people, you have people that seek their whole entire day existence on creating drama. Because some way, some form, that's the fuel to their fire. And then you have people like myself that don't do drama. I don't do drama at all. My house is peaceful. But, hold on. Listen. I don't do drama. My problem is how I react to drama. Especially if I have not sent for you. Don't come for me. And especially when I've done all I can to be the bigger person in the situation. So no, I don't do drama. I react to drama. I'm not there yet, but I am getting to the point where I can block out the drama. Because sometimes, unlike thing one and thing two and all the little thinglings, the little children, some people do have a lot to lose. I have a lot to lose. So I prefer to take and be creative on the things that I do.
Okay. This sounds like great stuff. Like we got a future with this. So looking ahead, where do you see Glammed and Unfiltered in, say, 2 to 3 years? Touring live events, a full-blown TV or streaming series? Paint us that big, bold picture. And maybe even radio. Who knows?
Yeah, I see Glammed and Unfiltered becoming a charitable event, a charitable organization. I see it being more on a podcast level. It may venture over to a TV station or a podcast station or any of those things. I see it going somewhere because the platform is for uplifting and keeping it real. And if one story can change, because you never know what a person is going through.